All right. We're in week 5, you guys. Can you guys believe that? No, we're not. Just kidding. We're in 6. I even wrote 5. Wow. Okay, hold on. Gotta check myself. Week 6. That's even crazier. Okay. We are talking all things leadership, which is so exciting. I love the leadership topic because it is one of those topics that is scary for everybody, but it's really so much more simple than what you guys think it is. And so we are going to be sharing all kinds of fun ideas with you guys and hopefully inspire you to become better leaders for your current team or your upcoming team that you are building. Um, so with that being said, I'm going to be talking about incentives for your team that you personally do for them. And I'm also going to be talking about building relationships with your team. I know that the past couple of weeks we have talked about getting PRV and sponsoring. And so with that, we have talked about building relationships with your customers. And building relationships with your team is just as important, if not more important, than building those relationships with your customers. 9 times out of 10, your team was a customer before anyway and should continue maintaining that relationship with you once they become your team member. Um, it gets tricky sometimes because when we are first building a team and we are recruiting, we can very quickly look at these recruits as a number. We can be recruiting simply because we want to promote or we want an incentive, we want to earn a trip, whatever. And so we can very easily get wrapped up into all of that and be like, you got to do this, you got to do that, blah, 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 like number game. And we have to slow it down a tad bit and remember that these are people and we need to love them where they're at. If they join this business and they tell you that they are doing it as a hobby, you need to know, what does that mean? Are you wanting an extra $50 in your pocket every month? Does that mean $100? What is a hobby to you? And you meet that person where they're at and what they want out of their business. The moment that you take yourself out of the equation and make it about them, it changes everything for you and your business. Because when you have that genuine leadership and you are helping them, in turn, you are being helped. Your business is growing as well. And so it's this natural ebb and flow of building that connection, loving on them, showing them and leading them the way and being genuine about it. And then everything naturally comes together, whether it be slow, whether it be fast, whatever pace it is a beautiful path to be on. And just always keep that in the front of your mind of, these are people and we are to love on them hard. Okay. And what I mean by that is simply just reach out to them. Hey, I haven't seen you lately. Hey, your sales have been low lately. What's going on? Are things okay? Especially if, this person, let's say they're usually a high PRVer and they're getting 5,000 or not 5,000, 500 to 1,000 PRV. And then out of nowhere, they're getting like 100. Something's going on. So reach out to them. Hey, are you okay? What's been going on? Oh, you've got this going on. Oh my gosh. And just be a friend, you know? So that's how I treat my team. Um, I can't do it to everybody, and especially as things go forward, I sure am not going to be able to do that with everybody, but I try so hard to do that with at least my front line of checking in on at least 5 of them daily. Okay. So try to, maybe make that a note, a little goal for yourself is to start reaching out to your team consistently, even if it's just once a week. Hey girl, how's life going? How's life? What's going on with you? Blah, blah, blah. Um, because again, you want to just build that friendship with them and build that relationship, because if they don't know you, then they're not going to trust you. Just like your customer. If you are just constantly cold messaging them, like, I need you to get active, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, they don't care. And they are going to just completely cut you off. They will quit. They are not going to listen to a single thing that you say. And so you have to be genuine and you have to love on your people in an authentic, real way. They know the difference. And also, with that being said, when I first started leading, I think I might have shared this with you guys before, but I never wanted a team. I had zero intentions of having a team. And when I started like getting people to join my team, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do with these people? I'm not a leader. I don't know what I'm doing. And so I started watching YouTube videos. I started watching what my SSD was doing in her team page. Um, I started doing the incentives of having fun little challenges. Um, I personally myself, and I don't know, maybe this is like, I don't know, maybe this could be like a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not really sure. I guess, you know how they have like, I don't know what they're called, but people have like their different love languages is what it's called, where like, people are they like to have gifts, or they like words of affirmation, or different things like that. And like I like gifts, and I like recognition. And that is how I love on my people, is I am always challenging them, and I am always recognizing them in that way of, okay, guys, like we're in the last week of the month. Who can get an extra 200 PRV? Let's see who can do it. And I'll make a simple post about it. Like, I'll throw you all into a drawing, and whoever wins will get a $10 Starbucks gift card from me, or something silly like that, where, hey, who doesn't want an iced chai, by the way? And then it's fun, because why not push them? Why not challenge them and just see what their potential is? And that is also beautiful. Watching those posts of, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get an extra 200 PRV because of this, that, or the other reason. And then they crush it. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I did it. Actually, I overdid it and I got 300 instead. And then they're proud of themselves. And so that is leadership, you guys, in my mind, is loving on your people, pushing them with love, pushing them with inspiration and some gifts. And that's really it, as far as how I work with my people and just love on them. Sometimes I'll voice text them and be like, oh my gosh, you got a new recruit. Ah! Like, I'll do stuff like that. Um, Sometimes and I've been bad at this lately, but sometimes I'll do like little meetups where we will meet up at like a Mexican restaurant or like Panera Bread, and hey, I'm going to be here for the next hour. If you guys want to come hang out and grab some broccoli and cheese soup with me and just hang out, just, being their friend. 9 times out of 10, we're not even talking about Scentsy. Just to be there and building that relationship. Even at SFR, the teamies that I had there, it was very minimal that we actually talked about Scentsy when we were there. When we got together, it was like, what's going on in your life? What's going on in your world? Let's get each other up to date here. And so just always remember that, you guys, that we are not numbers. We are people. Love on each other. And let's see what she says. Since meeting you, I have felt more connected. Exactly, Sue Ann. I met Sue Ann in person. She's been on my team now for what, like 5 years? And I never met her. She went to her first world tour this past year. And it was a push, you guys. She almost didn't come. And I'm like, no, like, seriously, come on. Like, you have to come. And when she did, she's had a little fire lit under her hiney ever since. And just seeing us in person and seeing the genuine people that we are and not just it being on Facebook or social media has been a huge changer for her specifically. So kudos to you, Sue-Ann, for real. But her story is like one of thousands of that kind of stuff happening. So when you're scared and you're vulnerable and you've got these team meetings going on, or you have leaders who are offering this stuff, go to it. It might be scary the first day, but as soon as you go, you're going to be like, oh my God, okay, I'm going to the next one. When's that one? So yes, love on each other. We are all a big, huge wax family here. Back to incentives. I am not consistent with incentives. It's not like a monthly thing. It is very random where I'm like, we're doing an incentive this month. If you get 200 PRV this month, you're going to go into the drawing with 1 ticket. If you recruit somebody, you get 5 tickets. If you get 500 PRV, you get 2 tickets, and so on and so forth. You make it whatever rules you want. And then you basically just look at your reports. What's their PRV? What's their, are they paid at title? That gets some more points. Did they recruit? Did they have a reinstate? Blah, blah, blah. And all of that counts, and you can do different tickets for different things or whatever, and they go in a drawing. I use an app, or you can even just use the website, whichever one, but it's called Wheel of Names. And you just put all of their names into there, spin the wheel, and whoever wins, you can do whatever you want with it. Katrina told me right before this call that she did something fun with her team where she has them send her Amazon list, their wish list. And she's like, well, maybe I'll spend 20 bucks and get something off your list if you're the winner. Or a donut gift card, or a book from James Green, or whatever you want to do, just something to love on your people. And I think that's really all that I've got, guys. That's how I lead my people. I just love on them, and I show them the way with love and grace. And that's all I got. Love you guys.
Thank you, Cody. We love you too. That was amazing. I love the incentives because also, by the way, I was just looking for my notes and I forgot they're on my phone. I'm like, oh my God, where's the paper? Just kidding. Because also, yes, gift giving and receiving and all that kind of stuff I feel like a lot of people's love language. It's really good to feel recognized. So I'm going to talk about training, because once we are in this leadership position, right? It doesn't matter if you have 1 person under you or if you have 100 people under you. It is so important to actively train the people that you bring into this business, okay? Sometimes you might miss the mark. Sometimes you might be busy. That's why it's that's why it's important to have like a system. But I'm going to just go into a few ideas, topics, things that I can give you guys. So, you know how we always tell you guys to be the face of your business, right? I mean, I'm speaking from like a director standpoint, but this is literally for every single title. As long as you have at least 1 person under you. Although we say to be the face of your business, you also need to be the face of your team, of your group, okay? It is so important for the people that you bring here to know you, be familiar with you, and for you to be the face of what it is that you are creating and building with them. So in that, the biggest part of training is to lead the way. The things that we're going to tell them to do, please make sure you're doing them as well. You cannot bring somebody into this business and then tell them, hey, you have to do XYZ, and then you do none of that. Okay. Because they're looking up to you. They're looking at you for an example. They're looking at, hey, what is she doing? How do I do this? So please set the example. That's like the first thing. Okay. Set the example, be the face, and do the things that you're telling them to do. I understand that it is so easy to refer people to other people's videos. I know. It's so easy to refer them to the workstation. It's so easy to be like, here, check out Chloe's YouTube, you know? Like it's so easy to do that because it's already there. It's set in stone. She's a superstar director. Like I get that. And in a pinch, if you really have to, by all means, yes. But you should replicate the leaders that you look up to. Okay? Because if you're not doing that, ultimately these people are gonna maybe not, but be like, man, I should have just joined with Chloe. I'm looking at her page and I'm learning from her and I'm watching her YouTube trainings and I'm just being forwarded videos and why didn't I just, you know what I mean? I wish I knew her first, like type of thing. So just make sure that as a leader in any stage that you are in your business that you are taking the content that you need but you're replicating it and making it your own for your team so that way they have you to look up for, that way you're the face of your team and your business and they feel comfortable going to you to learn. um and there's so many ways that you can do videos like this. I'm not telling you to go tomorrow and make a YouTube channel and create a bunch of videos. If you are a newer leader or you don't have that many people on your team, there are many ways that you could do this. You can make quick little pre-recorded videos. And a few that I mentioned are just welcoming them. If you are somebody who recruits a lot, um, it's so easy to pre-record like, hey, welcome, I'm Cass, this is our group page, welcome to Scentsy, like, and I can go farther into context later on, maybe one-on-one with any of you, if you need to know like exactly what to say, but like a quick welcome video welcoming them to the team that you can just send out when you have somebody join. Instead of having the same conversation or the same thing over and over again, it takes less pressure off of you as a leader. You can make a short little video showing them how to create a party link and why we create party links. A quick little video on how to set up a launch party and why we set up launch parties. Quick little video about what Shooting Star is. Quick little video about what Sensational Start is. So just the very first few steps of your business, just those small videos, and you just send them out. Okay. Obviously, yes, be in communication with them, talk to them, build that relationship like Cody was talking about, because that's so important. But just those little clips, those little snippets of things that you can send them will help both of you tremendously. I promise you that. And don't think, oh, I think I already said this, but don't think too hard about it. If you guys have never heard of Marco Polo is a great app to use if you have a smaller team. Like if you're under a director and you're a part of their team already and you have that, but then you also have your own small little team, group chats are great. Marco Polo is great. You could even create your own little work nights. Say you have even one person, hey, do you want to meet on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock for 30, 45 minutes and just chat, just talk, work on our business. You can ask me questions, and just really block off that short period of time to meet up with them, because that's also a training. It's a form of it. You're still showing up, you're still being there, you're still talking to them, you're still helping them. And then another thing that you can do as an example would be to share your experiences and what works for you. So again, you could do this via group chat, voice memo. I love to send voice memos. I don't really chat that much. I always send voice memos because they can hear me. They can hear my tone of voice. They can hear my excitement. They can hear what I sound like. And honestly, it makes you feel more connected to people than just sending text messages. Okay. If you are a little bit bigger of a leader and you're working your way towards being a director, or you want to be a director and you have, I don't know, say like 10, 15 people under you, and you want to create your own small little group page until it becomes your team page, by all means, I encourage you to do that as well. Because yes, we do have our superstar directors group page, right? And then you have your star directors page, and then you have a directors page. But it's so important for you, if you want this level of leadership, if you want this level of your business to be there, to start acting now as if you're there, because once the transition comes and you're like, oh, I'm a director, you'll already have yourself set up. You'll already know what's going on. You'll already know how to take that step and you will be on your way there. Okay. You can also do small trainings and practice in your leaders page. If you have something to share, guys, we are so valuable and we might not even know it. Little things that you do in your business, anything is a training. It doesn't have to be this huge hour-long crazy training where you're just blabbing everything. It could literally simply be, hey, I made these postcards. they're going to go out my Happy Mail. I wanted to show it to you guys and I wanted to tell you where I made it. And it's that easy, 10 minutes and you're done. Okay. But it's sharing what you know, and you're providing value to those that are under you, around you, in your team, in your group. And it just is really helpful. Okay. And it helps your leaders. It really does. It helps us be like, okay, that's great. It takes the pressure off me for one day that somebody else shared something, right? Um, Another great thing that you could do is check in with your leader for ideas. If you're new and you're starting out and you're like, I want to do trainings, but I don't really know what to train on, just go to your leader. Just ask them, hey, what do you suggest? What do you think I should start with? Where should I start? How should I start? What did you start with? And I know for a fact they'd be more than happy to help you. Or pick a teamie out of your group or your frontline or whoever that also wants to be a leader, that wants the same thing as you. Collab with them. You don't always have to go up. You can totally reach down and pull somebody up underneath you and give them the confidence, and you guys can do it together and start building your own thing. So that way, when you are there and you keep recruiting and you keep building, you have that person to collab with, fall back on, lean on, and to create trainings with. And then I just have a quick little list of things that you can just think about. I know I said some earlier about like the onboarding, but examples of trainings that could be really quick. They could be a live video, they could be a pre-recorded, you could do it on YouTube, you could do it on Marco Polo, you could do it on a meeting like this. But you could talk about Happy Mail, like if you just want to do a quick little training, Happy Mail, what you send out in it, why you send it, why it's good, what you gain from it, how it's working for you. Sample making. A lot of people come in this business and they're like, samples, what do you mean samples? I don't know what that means. If you go on to Group Aubrey's Angels, which is my team page for my people that are here, I have a featured video pinned at the top on how to make samples. You can do a training on vendor events. If you just had a vendor event, hop on and share what you did, share what happened, share your experience, tell people what to bring, what not to bring, or just your experience in general, because not everything is like black and white. It's not like right or wrong. It's just your experience. And a lot of people have different experiences with different things. You could talk about parties, like literally right before this training, Katrina was telling us that Chloe did an in-home training and she talked about parties, how she does them, break it down for them. You could talk about how to network. A lot of people are like, what do you mean network? Well, who, where? I don't know how to network. I don't know who to talk to. What exactly do you mean network? And then you, as somebody who networks or has been in this a little bit longer, can explain to them, hey, this is what I do and this is how I do it. How to pick up on keywords. So if you are somebody that's good at listening, you have great listening skills, and you hear people say like, oh, I can't afford that, or, oh, I want to join, but I don't have the money. Keywords, can't afford that. Suggest the party. I can't afford to join, host kit. Okay. Or think of them, write them down for when we have a join special. But there's things that you can do that are small, quick little trainings that still make you the face of your team and your business. And then how to prospect. Who do you want to recruit and why? That's another great one that I love to talk about, is like when you're thinking of who do you want to join, easy. And you could just, and it's quick, it's simple. It's a quick live or it's a quick video, Marco Polo, but get comfortable in front of the camera, because you absolutely want this team that you're building to be your team. That's what you want people to come to. You want people to ask you, and you want to build a legacy just like all the other leaders do. Okay. And then teach that to the people that you are recruiting so that it just replicates. And that's all I got for you guys on trainings.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I was like, oh, I haven't done a training on that in a long time. So I got some ideas. So I'm going to talk to you guys about two things tonight. I'm going to talk to you guys first of all of servant leadership. And I looked up the definition because I wanted to like read it off and then kind of go into how we can put that into practice. So it says servant leadership is a leadership style that prioritizes the need of others over their leader's own, with the goal of helping teammates grow and thrive. So we talked about last when we were talking about sponsoring, we're talking about finding those people that we can bless, and that comes along with our team as well.
Some people join because they love the product, might as well get paid on it. Some people join for community, some people join because they want to make a business out of it. But regardless of that, we're still their leader, and we can help them find their way through Scentsy if we are focusing on the right things. So when you look at traditional leaders, it says that they seek leadership as a rank to obtain. So you will find people in any kind of business that they're literally just sponsoring because they want to earn an incentive, they want to promote, they want to make more money, but they're not really focusing on the opportunity to serve others. And by serving others, we're not saying like, you're just going to be at their mercy, you're just going to be doing whatever that they need, holding their hand, but being able to help them reach their goals, right? Traditional leaders also use power and control to drive performance, while servant leaders share power and control to drive engagement. So when we share all of the things that we're doing, when we're sharing our success, the things that we're learning, we're sharing trainings, we're coaching them, we're helping them find their way, it helps them feel powerful, it helps them feel seen, and it helps them get more involved. So if you have been a leader for a while, you might have experience with maybe having someone feel like they're not part of the team, or maybe you've had the success of being able to have your team feel engaged and empowered because of the way that you help them. And so when we are focused on helping our team on how can I help you achieve your goal versus how can you help me achieve mine, it literally makes them feel like they're part of a community. It helps them feel like they're empowered, like they are seen. In this world, we are brought down day to day. Day to day, we are brought down by people and employers, all the things, right? And so Scentsy is a beautiful community that can uplift and help people feel valued. When I joined, I mentioned that I was working at a network marketing, like customer care, customer service department, and I was just another employee for them. It didn't matter that I was the customer service manager. Didn't matter that I had been with them for almost 6 months. I was just a number to them. With Scentsy, when I started achieving things like shooting star, sensational start, and I was being recognized, I felt valued. I felt seen. And so that drove me to want to stay and be part of the community because of the fact that I felt like I belonged. I felt like I was part of a team, not just another number for somebody. We traditional leaders measure success throughout output. So how many times have we maybe been or seen that we are only reaching out to our teams when they're doing something? Like Cody said, let's look at the people that have changed. Maybe they were strong PRV, or they were recruiting, they were promoting, they were on fire when they first started, and now they're like absentee. Like, where are they? Right? Like, they're not numbers to us, they're people. They make part of our Scentsy family. Like, I love Disney. And so my team is the Tinker Stars team, but I always call our team like Ohana. Like, I always talk about how we are Ohana, how like we are, a family here. And I literally take that literal with my team. I have built friendships. I have built very strong friendships outside of Scentsy. Like Cody mentioned, we don't even talk about Scentsy when we're talking. Like, we talk about our lives, our kids, our husbands, all the things, because Scentsy did bring us together, but we have gotten to know each other, right? But we have to also measure success through growth and development. Some people don't join Scentsy to have high PRV and get big paychecks. Maybe they join because they want community. Maybe they join because they're a stay-at-home mom and they don't have adult interaction during, like, at all. Like, I was a stay-at-home mom for 7 years, and let me tell you, there was times where I loved being able to be a stay-at-home mom. It was the greatest blessing, but I would get so stressed out because all I did was watch Disney Junior all day and talk to 2 toddlers. And then my husband would come home, and to make ends meet, he would go do Uber. And so like I literally was like, "Oh my gosh, like I have no adults to talk to." But I had my Scentsy team. I had those coaching calls that I could do, and I looked forward to be able to talk to an adult and actually have a conversation, right? So sometimes people literally join Scentsy because they're looking for something more than just a paycheck. So we can't measure their success based on the PRV that they're bringing in or how many teammates they're bringing in, right? We have to also be able to look at their success through their personal growth. Who has come out of their shell? Who has blossomed when they have recruited? Who has maybe, even through nerves, done a live on your team page? Those things need to be celebrated and seen, right? Traditional leaders speak while servant leaders listen. I'm not going to go into too much depth with this personal experience, but I have had struggles in leadership. Okay, leadership is not always rainbows and sunshine. Sometimes it comes with some rain and thunderstorms. And I've had moments where I have wanted to quit because I've been so stressed out with things that have come up, right? And this is not to discourage anyone. This is just the reality of leadership. But in those moments, I was so focused on being right and so focused on, I know what I'm doing and I've been doing this for a long time and I'm the leader and I've trained myself, instead of listening and being able to say, what can I do better? When I've been able to turn that around and say, okay, like I can see where I've messed up, or I can see how that came across the wrong way, or how I hurt your feelings, and be able to listen to people, I'm able to fix the problem, right? Because the problem not necessarily is me or the other person. The problem might be miscommunication. But sometimes when we're being our authentic selves, we can come off a certain way, right? We're human. And so when we focus on not only speaking, but listening to our team and listening to their struggles, what are they struggling with? I hear all the time, oh, I can't get any sales. I can't. Okay. Are we going to just sit there and say, well, you haven't been asking, you haven't been doing this, you haven't been doing that? Like, let's listen. Maybe they're struggling. Maybe they don't know how to word things. Maybe their way that they're saying something can be easily fixed, right? Like, hey, like, have you tried doing this? Have you tried this party style? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Like, let's listen and then try to help them fix it. And then lastly, it says that traditional leaders, believes it's about them, whereas servant leaders understand that it's not about them. So we took a training. I don't know if you guys were in the Austin training. Was it Austin or was it Salt Lake City? I think it was Salt Lake City. The leadership training. It was all about the mindset. And she gave us a list of things that us leaders sometimes do to help, where it can and how it can come off. And I literally like listened to that training and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all these things. And I'm like, I'm thinking it's coming off one way and it's totally coming off a completely different way. But it's because we're thinking of how, again, it benefits us and not how it's coming across. So when we are focused on how can I serve my team? How can I help my team? Again, it's not about holding their hand and, hey, Cody, what can I help you with today? And Katrina, what can I do for you today? It's about being able to just, how can I help? How can I share what I'm doing? How can I share the lessons I have learned so that they can learn from it too? We can work as a team instead of me and my team, right? So when we recruit, we talked about onboarding a couple weeks ago. we onboard them, we teach them the ways, but that doesn't mean that they know exactly what they're doing, right? Because there's so much more to Scentsy than just a click of a button, join, and then you have all the answers, right? There's lessons that we learn along the way. Keep teaching, right? We want to be teachable. We want to be able to learn. And then the second topic that I'm going to touch on real briefly is who to coach. Not everybody on your team is going to require you to coach them. Okay. Now, that does not mean that we don't help everyone when they join. We give them the tools to have them launch their business successfully, right? But who do we want to coach? Who do we want to invest our time? Because we have a business to run as well. And that is the people that are showing up. So that is the people that are putting in PRV and also putting in like sponsoring. Now, I just said, let's not measure their success by only that. That doesn't mean that you can't celebrate their small wins, but if you're going to take time out of your business to coach someone, to invest individualized time on how they can keep growing their business, you want to be able to invest in the people that literally are showing up, that you know are going to put those things to work. And those people are the ones that are PRV every month. They're recruiting. They are leading their team, right? If I see someone, it could be 4 generations down, and that person is pulling in 500 PRV and their sponsor is doing 0. I'm reaching out to that person. Hey, like, what are you doing? Do you want, like, what do you want out of this? What are your goals? Because I want to be able to help them reach their goals. I want them to be focused on the things that they should be doing. So we want to invest the time on the people. And that might not be like exactly the proper words. I apologize if it's coming off a little bit very straight. I'm very blunt, if you guys haven't noticed. You want to give that time because you have to balance your business and your team. And that's a very big and difficult thing to do sometimes, right? Because we recruit and then we were like, want to like help our team and do all these things and do all the fun things and do all these trainings. And sometimes we can lose sight. And it happened to me where I'm like investing so much time on my team that my sales started going down. And I'm like, but what's going on? Like I could easily get 1,000 PRV and now I'm struggling to get 500. Well, I stopped focusing on my business because I was too focused on my team. So you have to have that balance, and you do that by taking that time that you're investing on your team and coaching those that are showing up, those that are putting in the work, that you know are going to take those tools and keep going. And then you teach them the way so that they can coach their team, so that they can go ahead and do the same thing for their downline so that they can keep moving forward. So that's literally all I really have. So Katrina, take it away.
Yay, sorry. I'm like, y'all, I have all the notes. Like, I promise I'm doing all the notes like right along with y'all for real. So believe it or not, just fun fact, we don't really share our notes with each other before the trainings. So like, we're all just like, okay, it's not my turn. Let me like getting a hand cramp from writing all the things. So like we have our different topics so that we know not to cover the same things. But I feel like with leadership, it totally spills into each other because there's just so many, there's so many things that all 3 of them have said that I'm going to touch on a little bit with my topics, but like, yeah, I mean, I just have all the notes. So thank you guys for being on. I love that I get to close this out. The 2 topics that I have with you guys, first, we're going to start with being coachable. So Liz just talked about who you should be coaching, but make sure that you yourself as a leader, as a person, are being coachable. Like you are, and I'm sure you're probably like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, I do coachings with my director or my superstar director. So, but it goes more into that. It goes deeper than that. Basically being open to constructive criticism. And that doesn't mean that like letting someone tell you negative things about what you're doing. That just means that with your leader, that they're able to communicate with you honestly, and you to not take it personally. When your leader comes to you and tells you something, not everyone is out to get you. I promise. I promise. But you're also going to them for feedback. You're going to other leaders for feedback. Hey, this is how I do my parties. Like, would you give me honest feedback? Asking your party guests, asking your VIPs, hey, what do you guys think of the mail that I send? What are we wanting to see in the VIP group? And you need to be okay with someone that's like, oh my gosh, you post way too much in here. Or, oh my gosh, you don't post enough in here. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't like knowing the day before a launch. Like, can you tell us sooner? Like, and not getting mad. Like those are just some little examples to being open to constructive criticism. Also having a positive attitude. Please don't misconstrue this, that I do not mean positive toxic positivity, because a lot of people are like, I can't be, Susie Sunshine 24/7. I'm not asking you to be, but you do need to have a positive attitude. Example, when things sell out, when very quickly, or when we have website maintenance, or if you just didn't know about something in time for whatever reason, you missed this training and you really wanted to be on it. It's okay. You don't have to be negative about things. Okay. There's a time and place for it. And typically the time and place is never on your director's team page. I personally, for me, those of my people that are on here, they know I don't do negativity on my team page, period. No one in my upline does negativity on the team pages. So if you need to vent, I do always say you should vent up. Don't ever vent down. Don't vent to your front line about something, because they're not going to want to be around you. So sorry to any sponsors that are on here, but yes, I am saying, if I was under Cassandra, if she was my sponsor, I would vent to her and be like, oh my God, why is this queue? Like, it is so long. I'm like at an hour and a half. This is BS. I would message her that. I'm not going to put that in the team chat. I'm not going to put that on the team page. Does that make sense? Vent up, don't vent down. Yes, Liz says, vent to your sponsor, we will listen. Yes. Let's see. Be an active listener. So when you are doing a coaching, when your mentor is giving you tips, giving you advice, don't always jump to reply. I'm not saying don't interrupt them, because listen, I'm probably undiagnosed ADHD and I interrupt people a lot. But that's just because I'm like, oh, I don't want to forget what I'm saying. But active listening it's more taking in what someone is saying to you and like letting that sit for a little bit. As much as you want to respond immediately, just listen more than you talk. Avoid excuses. If someone is giving you advice and coaching you and helping you make a plan to better something in your business, do not come back with 50 million excuses. Oh, I can't do that because of this. I can't do this because of this. I can't do that because of that. Well, no, that's not going to work because of this. But then I have to do this and I don't want to do that. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants to hear excuses. This is not a get rich quick scheme. We are not a pyramid scheme. We are not like, close your eyes, snap your fingers, and you're instant millionaire. That's not what this is. If you're here to get rich quick, you're in the wrong business. Okay. Obviously the income disclosure will be attached to this on YouTube, but like, that's not what it is. So if that's what you're here for, exactly. It's a business. It's not a get rich quick scheme. So you do actually have to work. If you didn't show up to work, would you get paid? If you had a 9-to-5, you wouldn't get paid. If you consistently had a negative attitude at a 9-to-5 job, what would happen? You would probably get suspended, probation, or even fired. Okay. Please, please, please know that you are not perfect. No one in this business is perfect. No one is. Because like I was saying earlier, even as STAR directors on this call, we all have, I can tell you right now, Cody, Cassandra, and Liz all have notebooks full of notes from every training that they've ever been on. But even from tonight, we all have notes. We all have notes in our notebooks from tonight because we are constantly wanting to better ourselves and learn things. So if you go in with an attitude of, I already know how to do that, I don't need to be on that training. I didn't show up for this training tonight because I already know how to be a leader. What? Get out of here. No. No. Actively work to change what is not working. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and over and expecting different results. We're not doing that. You need to actively work to change what is not working. And self-reflection. If you guys, I know that all of these directors on here share my content calendars that I make every Saturday on the actionable tasks calendar. Every Saturday is self-reflection Saturday for me. It's literally just looking back what worked, what didn't work. In the military, we call it an AAR, an after action review. What worked, what didn't work, how can we improve something? What can we do differently next time? It just, self-reflection is key to being coachable. So the next thing that I want to end on, is iron sharpens iron. It's from Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. All this means is that when you are helping someone else, it is helping you be better too. You are helping someone else be a better consultant, a better teammate, a better sponsor, a better leader. It's helping you in return. And please don't get it twisted. I don't mean that leadership is transactional, because it is not. That's actually my least favorite form of leadership is transactional, where I only do this if this person does this. I only do this if I get this out of it. We don't want leaders like that. We don't want to be leaders like that. No. This means you're bringing out the best in someone else. You're helping them realize their potential and helping them grow. And that in turn is helping you grow and helping your potential flourish. Does that make sense? I found a really great article when I was looking up the verse tonight. And I thought, I'm literally just gonna read this to you guys. This is from leadershipalive.com. If somebody can put that in the chat, and people can click on it if they want, but it's 10 practical, so easy peasy, right? 10 practical suggestions on how to sharpen people and bring the best out of them. So these are things that you can do to help someone else be better. And in turn, it will help you be a better person, okay? Number 1, show genuine care for people. Hello, does that sound familiar? Cassandra hit on that. I feel like everyone hit on that tonight. Cody hit on that. Liz hit on that, yeah. It has a John Maxwell quote on here. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So true. If you, was it Cody earlier? I wrote it down. Said, if they don't know you, they will not trust you. Yep, that's what I wrote down, Cody. So yes. Number 2, provide clear expectations. People need to know where they stand at all times, what's good and what needs improvement. That is literally what a coaching call is. That is what a coaching call is. It's not anything more crazy than that. Like, some people get so scared of coaching calls because they don't know what to do and what to expect. That's what it is. It's just having a conversation with your coach. Okay. Engage in regular, honest conversations. Again, I feel like everyone hit on that tonight. Accountability, truth telling, crucial conversations, confronting difficult issues, be hard on issues and soft on people. So again, that's what I'm saying. Not everything is about you to make it. No one is targeting you. It's not anything to do with you. It's about something that you're doing. So we want to help you fix something you're doing. We're not helping you fix you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are you. I love this one. It's something my husband and I actually use a lot, and I actually use it in a conversation today with one of my girlfriends. Praise in public, correct in private. My husband knows that if I am in an argument with someone and I am saying that the sky is purple and the grass is blue, he will go so hard for me and have my back. Yes, the grass is blue. Look at it. It actually looks turquoise. That's my daughter. And he will go till he's blue in the face because he's got my back. And then when we get home, he's going to be like, actually, babe, the sky is actually blue and the grass is green. I don't know why it looked blue to you, but bragging publicly on the positive, but correcting people behind closed doors so that you don't speak shame and guilt into their future. Okay. Discover and develop people's strengths and passions when you do unlock that potential. Build relationships. Conversation creates relationships and trust is built upon it. Hello again. Share the credit. It is amazing what gets done when no one hogs all the credit, and how something so simple motivates everyone. Every promotion I have ever had as a star director, the very first thing I say is I couldn't have done it without my team. I couldn't have done it without my group, because guess what? You can't promote without other people. So you have to give credit where credit is due. Even when you hit certified, I couldn't have done it without my amazing customers. I couldn't. Well, how'd you get, unless you're bonus buying and then that's out of compliance and you should be gone. So, right? Speak vision and possibility into people. Believe that seeds of greatness are in every person on your team. Use your influence to build others up. Share leadership. Look for opportunities to stretch and advance others upward. Be ambitious for the success of one another. And then the last thing is probably the most important thing, is have fun along the way. Fun, laughter, and humor is the shortest distance between two people. So I hope that you guys took all the notes tonight. And I hope that this helps you feel more confident in your upcoming leadership or your current leadership. I hope that it doesn't scare anyone away from leadership. We do have some homework for you guys tonight. I just had it pulled up on my phone. All right, where are we at? Let's see. The homework tonight is, drum roll, please. I don't want to see anybody leave. I don't want to see that number go off, go down. Normally when we say the homework, the number drops. The homework tonight, and you have until Sunday at midnight, just like all of them, to do a live training. So go live. A live training on your director's team page on anything, on whatever you want. It can be as quick as you want, long as you want. Anything you want, but do a live training on your director's team page. Liz says easy peasy. So I'm done with everything. Before we stop the recording, I'm going to open it back up to the other directors, see if anybody wants to add anything, and then we'll stop the recording. Anybody else? Cody, did you say you wanted to say something?
I was just going to talk about, like, once the recording is over, I just kind of want to ask, like, just ask everybody about the program, like, just kind of get, you know, since we're all together, since we don't have like a group page. Yeah, like, let's get some feedback for ourselves tonight, since we just preached about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that.
Well, does anybody have anything to add before I stop the recording?
I'll just add that one of our things in Scentsy is to give more than you take. And so remember that in leadership. It doesn't matter if you have one person on your team, like we've mentioned, or you have a team of 10, 30, 40, hundreds. Give more than you take. And that goes towards your team and also your upline. Sometimes some of us are doing this alone. Like, we might not have an upline that is being a leader, like a servant leader. towards us. So when our team comes together and we give more than you take as a whole, it helps everyone, including your sponsor, including your team. Sometimes I hear that saying that leadership is lonely, and that is why if we focus on servanthood and like being there for other people, we can build a community together. So I love that about Scentsy. And one thing that I will add before we close again, because I thought about it, I forgot to mention it, is I've heard it at home office when I had the chance to go last year, and I heard it at leadership this year. Meet your team where they're at. Don't put expectations for them. Help them develop skills and help them push their limits. But if all they want is to be active, meet them where they're at. That is why we collectively decided to do this training as it was and invite our entire teams and not make it for specific titles, specific people pushing for a promotion, because we wanted to meet our teams where they're at. If they want to build a business, great. If they want an extra $50, great. If they want community, great. We want to be able to service you guys the way that you guys are looking to be serviced. And so that goes as you sponsor, find out why they join, find out why they stay, and then meet them where they're at. If they're happy and content with 200 PRV, celebrate that win, because that's a win for them, right? So I forgot that on my notes. I saw it on my other phone. And so I wanted to add that before we close. So
Yay. Awesome. Cody, I actually wrote that down. Cody actually, she said something very similar. I have loved them where they're at. So yes,
Mhm.
same sentiment. So, all right, I'm going to stop the recording.